Hello, family. Moses B. Arthur here. I hope you guys are doing great. It's been an interesting year so far. We've almost smashed the first 6 months of the year. I hope that you've been consistent, you've been intentional with dealing with your goals and achieving them. I started off the year with my YouTube content where people were sliding in my DMs across my various social media platforms, sending in questions, and then I decided to tackle some of them. I've answered as many of you guys your questions. The content are going to be up and live. For the next couple of days, I'm going to be sharing a few lessons that I have learned around life, I have learned around the grades, and as a student and an observer of life, the things that I've observed, today I'm going to be sharing with you guys business lessons that you can learn from a prostitute. Now, that sounds interesting. Somebody's going to go like, what did he just say, a prostitute? Yes, I just said a prostitute. Now, I'm reading my Bible in the book of Joshua chapter 2 verse 1, and it says that then Joshua, the son of Nun, secretly sent 2 spies from Shittim. He said to the spies, "Go look over the land," he said, "and especially Jericho." So they went and entered the house of a prostitute named Rahab and stayed there. And I'm a believer, so I'm studying my Bible, and then I come across Joshua chapter 2 verse 1, and then Joshua, the man that Moses imparted his spirit of wisdom in, is sending spies out, and he sent the spies out to a particular house, guys. And for me, it was not just the house of a pastor nor the house of a worship leader, it was the house of a prostitute. And I'm looking at the scripture and I'm like, my question is, what is it about a prostitute that we can learn as believers? What is it really about them? Why did he send them to the house of a prostitute? Is there anything we can learn from a prostitute? So I thought through the entire scripture, meditated upon it, and I decided to bring you guys some lessons that I observed can be learned from a prostitute. The first lesson is that a prostitute is a very interesting character. She invests in her beauty. The first lesson you can learn from the prostitute or a prostitute around is the fact that she takes time off to invest in her beauty. I've always said that when it comes to business entrepreneurship, it's very important that you need to understand certain blocks that come with it. It is the fact that your aura is always the thing that opens the door for you. The scripture says that man looks on the outward, God looks on the inward. Now, if you would want to show up anywhere in any part of the world looking a certain kind of way for the set occasion, then you need to dress how you want to be addressed. You can't tell me that you're going to wear a basketball jersey, to go meet the president when you're not LeBron James. If you get an invite today to go meet the president, even LeBron James won't wear a basketball jersey in meeting the president. He's going to be all suited up in some dope bespoke, So you need to dress how you want to be addressed, one, and then you don't just need to dress how you want to be addressed. You need to dress for the address you are headed to. A prostitute takes time off to so much invest in her beauty, from makeup, to perfumes, to the kind of outfits she looks, because she understands that how she's looking on the outward is the enticing factor or the bait that will draw in her potential clients. So as a business, what's your outlook on the outward? How's your business dressed? What have you invested in the outlook of your business? Both the people in the business and even the outward look of the business. At the Build to Last Business Camp meeting, I touched on something interesting, and then I in reference to this, I spoke about frontline ownership. So how do you take time off to invest in your business's beauty, in your business's outlook? How do your socials look? How do your what does your website say about your business? All of these things are things you need to invest in, because at the end of the day, it's a reflection of the outward, and that is what a lot of the times people look at. So the first thing you'll notice about a prostitute is that she takes time off to invest in her beauty, from the hair to the perfume, some Amouage, some Prada bag, some LV shoes. They just want to look good to attract the kind of market that they want to attract, So it's very, very important, guys. The next lesson that I observed from the prostitute is that she's bold and she takes risk. Now, for me, this is very interesting for a lot of young people. I got to a point in my growth and I'm like, why do Africans think small? Why do believers even think small? It worried me for a very long time. Why do believers think small? And I'm thinking through the whole thing and I'm like, I think one of the greatest disservice that ever happened to the black man is we're raised by our colonial masters and everything to dream small. The thing about the prostitute, fourth, that I learned is that she has intelligence. I didn't say she is necessarily intelligent. I said she has intelligence. You know, she knows where all the money spending joints are. She knows where to hang out, where not to hang out. Now, she's able to know these things by means of the intelligence that she has gathered. You know, I've always said that success leaves its trails. If you are paying attention, you'll be able to know where these things are. If you want to succeed, you need to follow the money. You need to know where people are spending the money at so that you can go for it. She has intelligence. The question is, in your industry of doing business, where are people spending the money? And are you even following it? And are you even going after it? Remember I said success leaves its trails and you need to follow up on it. It is very, very, very important. Now, the fifth lesson that I got from studying the prostitute is that she understands relationship management. You see, never meet any stranger and just go like, hi. It's a wrong approach, wrong penetrating strategy. Don't meet a stranger and go hello. It's wrong. You won't get the attention of the stranger. When you meet a stranger, your best bet to meet that stranger is to compliment the stranger, guys. Compliment the stranger every single time and you are going to get the best out of it. Now, I'll give you an example. Now, in November, I was traveling from Ghana to Dubai and I had to transit in Rwanda, you know. So there was this elderly woman who was seated by me, and for those of you who are long-standing Chelsea fans, you know that Didier Drogba had a way he used to get his hair look and everything that, you know. So I am actually sitting in this flight, transiting in Rwanda, and then I see this woman seated, and just by the look of her hair, and I noticed that she had some crystal stones on her hands. So I look at that closely and I'm like, okay, this is somebody to get to know. So as we're transiting and we get down from the plane, walking down into the Rwandan airport, I reach out to her and go like, hello, my name is Moses and I love your hair. You remind me so much of Didier Drogba. And she goes like, oh, I'm a Chelsea fan. And I'm like, really? And it sparks a conversation. And, you know, later I got to know she's one of the biggest people who owns chains of shops in our airport, you know, but they started with a compliment by saying, I like your hair. And she says, and I said, it reminds me of Didier Drogba. And she says that she's a Chelsea fan. And you know, even if I'm not a Chelsea fan, at that point in time, I'm a Chelsea fan. You understand? So you need to understand relationship management. Whenever you meet a stranger, don't go complimenting, don't go just greeting the stranger, always compliment, speak about their boots, speak about something you love about them, their perfume, something. It keeps a reminder of you constantly on their minds and you are good to go, absolutely. You are absolutely good to go. What's going to happen is that because you have created an image of smile, you have created an image of perception on their minds, it sticks with them forever. You know, imagine complimenting someone and saying that I like your perfume and I will actually love for us to share the same perfume. It sticks with them for life, you know. So that's the approach you should go. And I hope that my 5 lessons that I picked up from understanding who a prostitute is or what a prostitute is from the scriptures, Joshua chapter 2 verse 1, was a blessing to you. I hope that you use that in your life. I hope that you use it in your business, and do share with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and stick and stay, guys. Cheers.